If you're at all tapped into the underground hip-hop side of things, you probably recently heard the name Dom Corleo at least once, whether it was in a positive or negative light. And honestly, that goes the same for me too. I only recently discovered Dom, but overall like the music regardless of the public opinion. So in today's video, let's take a look at who Dom Corleo is and how he got in front of your eyes. Like many of the other underground artists in this recent new wave of talent, it seems like he just popped out of nowhere and blew up overnight, but this couldn't be further from the truth, as Dom has actually been making music for about 5 years now, since 2017. Dom Corleo grew up in the Bay Area and later on ended up moving to Arizona, where he could focus more about perfecting his craft and take this music thing more serious. Some of his earliest influences in music included artists that he listened to growing up, such as Drake, Future, Chief Keef, and even Kurt Cobain. The thing that most new fans of Dom Corleo might not know is that he actually made connections with a lot of these underground artists that all seem to have blown up quite a bit in 2022, such as Summers, Autumn, and even Sofaygo. In fact, in an OGM interview that Dom recently did, he explained that how he first met Autumn was through buying an open verse from him back for only $30 back in late 2017, early 2018. I'm not gonna lie, that probably ended up being a better deal than any Black Friday sale going on at the time. It was also around this time that Dom had joined group chats with and got introduced to Summers, and they actually even recorded some songs together, as well as their friendship grew quite a lot since the plug and B sound was still so new and wasn't popping like it is now. 2018 continued to be a good year for Dom as well, since that's where Sofaygo comes in. Dom basically put out a snippet with an open on it asking his fans who they wanted as the feature on the song, with many of them telling him to hit up Faygo, who actually had less than 1,000 followers at the time, to see if he could make the song happen. Not only did Faygo agree to hop on the song after Dom hit him up, he actually also added him to an underground group chat, which included the likes of Slump 6S, Chulo, and multiple other producers and artists. These group chats were one of the most valuable things that happened to Dom during his rise up because of how many connections and networking opportunities came from them. Although Dom did go on to say that him and Faygo kind of had a falling out over some small stuff, which is definitely unfortunate. Dom also had a song with Destroy Lonely made back in 2021, and after some time, there was a little bit of controversy because Dom didn't like the way the song sounded or fit his newer style, so he ended up deleting it and then re-dropped it after redoing his verse on it. And the reason why this caused some controversy is because many fans just ended up thinking that Dom was reusing opens, when in reality he just didn't like the product that he put out at first, so he decided to change it. But from 2017 all the way to this year, Dom was working and switching up his sound a lot, taking bits and pieces from artists that he already messed with and putting his own twist on it. And it wasn't until recently that he had a song finally take off to a major level. You guessed it, I'm talking about Penthouse Shorty. In my opinion, it's also kind of crazy because according to Dom, he made the song in only like 20 to 30 minutes, and that's the song that really put a lot of eyes on him. So that's kind of wild. And it definitely seems like that single was definitely the turning point that Dom needed, because after he dropped that, he dropped Ginseng, which was inspired by Young Lean's Ginseng Strip 2002, and then dropped other bangers such as Bloody Runtz and even Converse and Fly as Hell, both of which got a video directed by .com Nirvan, who is essentially like the modern day Cole Bennett, and all of those songs ended up performing really well for him. As of now, however, I believe Dom is working on his next project, which he confirmed will have 10 songs, at least 5 of which are already actually done. And he recently went on tour with Lancey Foe, in which he ended up bringing out SSG Kobe, another name you guys should probably know, to perform an unreleased song that those two have together. Now, I think the crazy thing that I found out when I was doing the research for this video was just how much hate Dom Corleo really gets from the underground fans. Many call him a Destroy Lonely clone, and while yes, some of his songs were clearly inspired from Lone, you gotta keep in mind, Dom only recently just started getting a significant number of eyes on him. He's definitely not the only rapper to use flows inspired by other artists. In fact, most artists you listen to today probably get inspired based on other artists' work. I have seen some people on Twitter say that Dom is not only copying Lonely's flow, but is doing it in a bad way as well. Basically statements that in my opinion hold no real value. And yeah, I mean, hate comes with the fame, but if Dom was making bad music, then it wouldn't be getting streamed like how it is, you know what I mean? The other thing that people seem to be clowning Dom over is the way the girl sat next to him in the OGM interview, and here, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little awkward. But I agree with Bobbalam's take on this situation, who basically said that since Dom is so new, he probably doesn't have access to a bunch of female fans in whatever area he's in at the time that will pull up to an interview with him, no questions asked. So was it a little corny to ask random girls on your story to pull through to an interview? Yeah, probably. But I don't think it's as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. At At the end of the day, I don't think it took away from the interview at all, and based on the moves he's making recently, I personally think his only way to go is up. Now, how do I feel about Dom Corleo and the direction of his career? Well, I gotta be honest with you guys. It's not often that I hear an artist for the first time and instantly want to check out the rest of their discography. It even took me like 3 songs in to finally fully check out what Yeet was about after hearing Get Busy. With Dom, after one listen of Bloody Runtz, I knew this guy had hella potential. At the end of the day, I really don't care if someone's using someone else's flow as long as they put their own twist on it and make it unique, which I think Dom has already accomplished that. And Bloody Runtz personally has been in my rotation for a couple weeks now, and I just can't stop listening to it. But I think only having one opinion on Dom Corleo isn't that beneficial, so let's get my homie Underground Season to say a few things on his mind about Dom and see what he thinks.
What's good, everyone? First of all, huge shout out to the boy grishuh. Thank you so much for having me on. But Dom Corleo. I think Dom's an interesting case in the underground, and here's why I say that. Now, I actually talked about this in one of my videos, What's with Dom Corleo, but I think Dom's good at copying the sounds and flows of other artists. Whoa, settle down now, everyone. No, I'm not calling Dom a clone. When I say Dom's good at copying, I mean you can very clearly hear the inspiration behind a lot of his songs. But Dom is definitely putting his own twist on the styles. For example, and I know people are going to disagree with me on this, but I'm going to stand by it. In my opinion, Dom's flow on Penthouse Shorty sounds a bit like Destroy Lonely, but it's not a complete ripoff of Destroy Lonely because it's a combination with Dom's own style, if that makes any sense. Basically, I think that Dom is on a solid career track, and while he's still forming and finding his own sound, I think that he does have some mainstream potential. When I say you can plainly hear the inspiration for a good amount of Dom's music, I don't mean this as necessarily a bad thing. Dom has clearly been tapped into the underground, and I'm confident that we're going to see him continue to evolve over the next year or two, and I think he's going to come out with a really cool original sound. But that's all I got for you guys. Again, huge shout out to grishuh. Thank you so much for letting me pop in on this video. Be sure to check out my channel Underground Season if you like dope hip-hop content. I'm trying to get my editing like Grishuh's for real. But take it easy, y'all. Peace.
All right, so there you guys have it. What do you think about Dom Corleo though? Have you checked out his music yet? If not, the 3 tracks I recommend you guys check out first are Bloody Runtz, Converse, and of course Penthouse Shorty. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to Underground Season for hopping on the vid with me today. If you like hip-hop content about the current underground era, make sure you go ahead, drop him a sub. We also did a collaboration on his channel if you want to check that out. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure go ahead, drop a like on it, sub to the channel so that you never miss a future upload. And thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.